so we're going to try this a third and final time. So you guys are getting us in 3 installments. It's almost like Facebook's like, this is so good, so we're going to cut you off. All right, so anyway, let's go back to the filter. Is it truthful? Is it kind? Is it necessary? So here's the thing. If the filter was the other way around and I was talking shit on someone, Nancy would say, is it truthful of what you're talking shit about someone on? Probably not. Is it kind of you talking shit on that person? Definitely not. And is
it's okay.
And is it necessary for you to talk shit on that person? No. You got to run your life through the filter. So go.
Yeah. So
we don't know when this is going to go. So
I know, and I don't know who's jumping on at this point. I mean, thank you guys for jumping on.
Hanging in there.
But here's the thing. So we're talking about what can you do differently, just to catch you up. And we're talking about the filters, okay? Everyone is guilty of talking shit. Everyone is guilty of drama. Everyone is guilty of doing these things. I don't care who you are, because at some point in our life, right, we are young people and we are trying to figure things out and we are trying to sort through the bullshit of life and we're trying to just get by and make friends and connect with other people. There are a lot of groups that are formed. There are a lot of people who sit there and they point and they go, and they make fun of other people. We are grown-ups now, people, okay? I'm 33. Scott, how old are you?
39.
All right, Scott's 39. You know, there's some of you on here, I'm sure.
Home stretch till 40.
There you go, okay? So there are a few of you on here. It could be any range of whatever. We are at a point in our life, and I always say this to my little sister, who is, I still refuse to believe she's anything over 26.
Long time, Amy.
She's 28. And I always tell her, I'm like, when you hit 30, there's something that happens, and it's this crazy confidence. I mean, as a woman, it's come over me that when I hit 30, I feel so crazy confident in certain things. And I just feel like I have this new understanding of life, and all this crazy drama I felt like I had to be a part of doesn't really apply and doesn't mean anything. So what we're talking about is, what can you do differently in life to be a good person, to lead the way, to be a role model, which is one of my big things. Like, I want to get out there in the world that, guess what? If you have a healthy relationship and you love your spouse and you love your partner, that's awesome. Be a role model, because we need that, okay? If you are happy in life and you find things that bring you joy, and you love going out in nature, and you love playing music, and you love doing things that give you passion and love and enlightenment, be a role model for people who might not know the way. So when we get back to it, what things can you do differently to help continue to make an impact, continue to be drama-free, continue to live a life where you are not gossiping and you are going up, okay? One thing we always go back to, and Scott kind of mentioned it, is the filter, okay? And it's kind of like a Buddha thing. It's kind of like a, being at peace with everything. When you go to make a comment and you go to say something, have the patience to hold yourself back and process things through these filters, right? So one is, what I'm about to say, is it truthful? Is it something that's true? Is it factual? Is it something that actually applies? Two, is it kind? Is it something that is actually kind? Even feedback, as much as it might hurt the other person, is it meant with good intention? Okay? And then the third thing, is it necessary? What's your point? If you're going to make a comment and you're going to say, you know what, you're ugly and I hate that shirt, is it truthful? I mean, is it an ugly shirt? Is it meant to be kind because you're trying to save them, whatever? Is it necessary? Like, just please, process things. Think about those things. If you're going to process things, is it truthful? Is it necessary? Is it kind? It will change your life, because you will find yourself so many times wanting to fit in with so-and-so at the lunch table, with, John over there who's, talking crap on Kathy or whatever. You know what? Think about what you're about to say and be a role model. Be that person who puts their foot in the sand and says, you know what? I'm going to be a good person. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to be truthful. And I'm going to say what's necessary. And if it's feedback, guys, it's meant to be a good thing, right? And if it's coming from someone who honestly practices these things, I mean, it's a good thing, trust me. So, anything to add on that?
Well, Amy says, my daughter, 5th grade, has been bullied by these kids. How do I hold myself back after a month of school? It was only 3 days that she didn't come home crying. You know, obviously, bullying is something that happens even when you're adults. You know, Nancy sees me go through it all the time. People try to bully me and push me around and stuff. And
tell about your history.
And I was bullied and picked on a lot as a kid. And, you know, obviously I don't want to say that I embraced it, but I never let it dim my light, because for all those guys out there that used to bully me, there was guys right around the corner that loved me and appreciated me for who I was. And again, it all comes back to focus. But, you know, Amy, what your daughter has to, you want to say something?
After you're done, I want to add something. Yeah.
Well, you know, I think in this day and age, because social media is so prevalent in how people view things, and all I'm saying is, you know, there's a great book, you know, and we talked about it the other day, The Energy Bus, but there's one for kids. And, you know, obviously standing up for yourself and just letting people know, like, listen, it's not right what you're doing. It's not nice what you're doing. It's hurting my feelings. How would you feel if people were doing that to you every day? And making it prevalent, you know, letting people hear, you're bullying me. Stop bullying me. Bring attention and awareness to it. And in the book, it says, tell the teacher, tell the principal, let those people's parents know. Because you know what? It's not right, but it shouldn't go unsaid. There is no room and no space in this world right now for negativity, hatred, or anger. And I'm going to speak to the adults too. You know, people can come at you all they want, and people come at me all the time, and they try to bring me down. They try to do this and I'm letting you know right now, I have grown so much as an individual. My confidence has never been higher in who I am and what I stand for and the mission that I'm on and the vision that I have for how I'm impacting people in my life. You can try to stop me, but it's not going to happen. And I want each and every one of you out there to have that same confidence. If there are people in your life right now and they are poking you and they are pushing you into a corner and they are trying to make you feel a different way, they're trying to intentionally hurt you and hurt your families, cut off your income, change your livelihood, do not give them that satisfaction. Because if there's a will, there is a way. Because the longer that you keep yourself in that drama of that person's situation, you're letting them win. So you know what? Let them be who they are. You pick up your bags and you move in the other direction. And Linda says, I was bullied too severely. Show focus on who loves you rather than those that don't. Never encourage the thought of victim because it limits and cuts your strength and options. And remember what it feels like to help those who are in the same position, because in that support group, you will get the strength and confidence to stand up for yourself in a healthy way. Absolutely. Listen, bullying comes in all different shapes, forms, and sizes. And you know what? I feel bad. I feel bad in my heart for those people that are out there trying to purposely hurt other people, whether it's in business, whether it's in network marketing, whether it's in school, whether it's in family. I feel bad for those people that are intentionally trying to hurt others, because you know what? That person is probably taking it too personally, because again, go through the filter: kind, necessary, and truthful. Is it? Because the fact of the matter is, you don't have to understand why someone is doing something else. You don't have to understand why someone decided to do this, that, or the other. That's not it's not up to you. You have to focus on yourself. And if you're that person that has made a new decision in your life to better yourself and your family's life because that decision feels good to you, you stand by that decision. You don't let anything come in your way of changing your mind. because that person that's trying to drag you backwards or make you feel bad about your decision or make you feel some sort of way, if you give that power to them because you're giving them your feelings, that's your fault. Don't give them your power. Keep the power within you and bless that power, bless that life, bless that love to all those that really will honor and appreciate who you are, what you stand for, and where you're going. And that's it.
Wow.
Was that good?
Yeah.
Did that fire you up a little bit?
Like, holy shit. I wrote down a couple of it.
Well, I don't know when they're gonna cut us off. So
wait, Tim wrote, there are a lot of unhappy people out there. If you're good with you, then just kill them with kindness. This way you will look in the mirror and love what you say.
Love that, Tim.
So
And Pam said, you have no idea how I needed to hear what you're saying right now. And Amy said, that's what I said. She made some great friends, and I tell her, stick with those friends who you know are true friends, and said you can't make her change. Just ignore her and don't let her and the group of friends, don't let them. And here's the thing, Amy, what I'll tell you is this. What I've come to understand, when other people really treat other people badly, it's because they see something in that person that they wish they had in themselves. So your daughter is probably just like you. She's probably amazing and confident in all these things. So what is someone going to do? Someone that lacks confidence is being treated badly by maybe a family member or another friend. They're going to look to take it out on someone, and they're trying to take it out on your daughter. So when your daughter starts to realize that if people are trying to pick on her and try to bring her down, it's because those people see something they wish they had a tenth of that she has that will allow her to stand in her power.
It's like, I have such a problem, especially when it comes to kids. And I know kids at a certain age can be so petty and so crazy. And the things that I wrote down, I mean, seriously, like, who was it that wrote that her daughter was being bullied?
Amy.
Was it Amy? So it just like, it really like goes back to home for me, because I remember being bullied, being picked on, being called ugly, being, told certain things. And I remember my mom sitting down with me. And all I can say to the parents and people out there, right, you can only do so much, and you got to let your kids out into the big world, right? And here's the thing. I hope she's on here, because this is something that my mom said to me. And I went through a stage in my life where I felt I was just not enough. I felt like, I could be prettier. I felt like I went through this stage where I was incredibly gangly, and, I played music and I was all awkward and I wanted to be in band. And I went through this horrible stage, and I call it a horrible stage because I wasn't confident with who I was. And guess what? It's okay to be you. It's okay to be goofy and to laugh at the things that make you, laugh, and to find humor in certain things, and to realize that you might connect with those people who people might look at and go, who's that person? They're a little weird. It's okay if you connect with them. Everyone is different. I got made fun of because I wore pink Chucks one day to high school. I actually got a text, and I got off the bus, and I remember reading it. Somebody wrote, "You have such a horrible sense of style. How dare you wear that to school?" And it was something I wore. I mean, again, in the great scheme of things, it's like that affected me so much. I came home and I cried. And I'm like, why? Why does this person care so much? Why did she care so much? I still to this day, I don't know why, right? What did I do? In high school, I loved music so much, and I love sports, so I decided to do band. I had to wear my band uniform, and I had to go. I love playing, piano, so I wanted to play the bells. I got made fun of for being in band. People busted my chops all the time and said things and, made fun of me. And it's like, called me ugly and said all these things. And it's like, who cares? You know what? And still, I say who cares now, but at the time, I felt so self-conscious. I felt so insecure. And I still remember some things that my mom told me, and she sat me down and she said, you know what? She said, everything you think means so much now, right? She said, everything you think matters is not going to matter.
But look what Pam said. I tell my students all the time that bullying changes the person being bullied. So don't do it. Be kind. It's so true. you don't know what it does psychologically to someone. It really does change them.
It does. And I went through a long phase of my life. And I know, Amy, you said your daughter's on here. I let it really bother me for a long time because I cared so much about one person and this person and that person. There are always going to be mean people. But the most important thing that you do is be true to yourself and be confident in who you are and know that, you know what? You're going to be the best person that you know how to be, right? And even if there's someone telling you, you're stupid or you're ugly or I don't like your backpack or I don't like your socks, right? Like, trust me, I've been there, right? Everybody has a thing. Guess what? It's so amazing. And once you break free from all this crazy middle school, and then it's going to be high school, and then it's going to be college time, which actually, believe it or not, college gets a little better because then you meet some pretty cool people. But then out of that, you get into the big, big world and you realize that all the things you stand for and all the things that you're confident about and all these things you thought might be weird about you are actually the things that are really the coolest things about you. And I want you to realize that now because holy shit, I'm sorry, I'm like cursing, but like we are all so unique and we're so amazing. And it's like if we let one person decide that we're creepy or we're ugly
Don't
or
give
we're
them
whatever,
that power.
don't give them that power.
You
know, Les Brown, right? Don't let someone's opinion of you become your reality.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. He was told his whole life that he was actually mentally insane, okay? Like he was actually mentally off. So he thought his whole life something was wrong with him.
She just wrote. She goes, "Hey, I'm Jesselyn. Thank you. You guys are saying what my mom says. At the end of the day, all that matters is I'm happy when I go to sleep." It's you know, I'll share a quick story with you. So I was at a birthday party when I was a kid, and I was probably like 13 or 14, and the group of guys that were there thought it would be funny to lock me out on the deck, and it was kind of like a chilly afternoon. And they went upstairs and I was locked out on their deck. And then from above, three of the guys dumped a huge bucket of cold water over me. So I'm at this party and I'm soaked. My clothes, like I was just, and parents were there and it was just a really, really embarrassing moment. And I wrote a book called Good Guys Always Win. And I cited this one story in one of the chapters. And I released the book. It'll be 3 years ago. I wrote it in February already. I'm not plugging my book, but I remember about 3 months after I wrote the book, I got a text message from one of the guys that was involved in that incident. And I didn't even know that he bought the book. I didn't know he read the book. And he said, "For what it's worth, I just read your book, and I just want to tell you I'm sorry. If there's any pain or anything that I ever did that I unintentionally or intentionally caused you as we were growing up, I am deeply sorry." And I wrote back to him. I said, "Listen, it's water under the bridge. You know, we're good." But I wanted to share that story with people because, again, you know, full circle, it comes back. He reads about it in a book and it affected him too, because this is almost 26 years ago that this happened, but it still pained him enough where he still felt the need to reach back out to me to say, "I'm sorry." Because again, I think this goes back to what Pam said. You know, bullies, they have no clue what it's like for that person that they're dishing it out to. You know, I mean, the greatest, the most challenging time in someone's life, identity-wise, is between the ages of 12 and 17. And that's when most bullying actually takes place. And you wonder why some people don't want to go back to their high school reunions. They don't want to see any of those people ever again, because anytime they think about growing up or going to high school, it was miserable for them, you know? And you know what? When people ask me, Did you love high school? I did. I loved it. I made the
I
best.
did.
I made the best of it. I like some of my greatest memories. Everything. The bullying, obviously, it was really bad my freshman year, and then it started to lessen as I got older. But I started to get more and more confident in myself. That I realized that I had my own personal power to say no. Like, you're not going to treat me this way. So again, life is way too short to have it spent picking on people, bullying others, and worrying about what everyone else is doing. And we wanted to leave you with a quote.
A couple quotes.
A couple quotes. You want me to read these? You're going to read that one? You're going to read that one? This is
You can say this one and this one.
Okay. So the last quote is a quote by Mother Teresa, but I'm going to read these first two. So people are not against you. They are for themselves. So people are not against you. They are for themselves.
And this is next time you think, whether it's at work, whether it's in a leadership role, whether it's in whatever.
Why are they doing this to me?
Why are they doing this to me?
Don't be the victim. They're doing things for themselves. Number two, the mouth should have 4 gatekeepers. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? 3 gatekeepers. Typo. The mouth
Is it truthful? Is it necessary?
Is it kind? And now we're going to end tonight with a quote from Mother Teresa. So we're just going to sign off after this. We're going to say goodbye now. So once Nancy is done, I am ending this live. So really listen to this and think about how you're going to bed tonight and think about what you're going to do differently tomorrow.
Okay, ready? All right. This is my favorite quote. And I've read this before on camera, whatever, before. I love it so much because it's such a great thing to really just, anyway. All right. So again, it's a Mother Teresa quote. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. So people are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and sincere, people may deceive you. Be honest and sincere anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give them your best anyway. In the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway.
We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.